Hello, and thank you for joining me on 8. I am Maggie. La 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 la. La 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 la. And with that, we will invite in the angels. On 8, I am Maggie, with my community. That is you, you and you and you. Okay, coming in, angels. Ave Maria. So, may you all be having just the most wonderful day. And we are on day 62 of the Momentum Challenge. And so, what have we been getting into? We've been getting into this beautiful book, The Complete Works of Florence Shinn, who is wonderful. So, let's take a peek at the cover. The Complete Works of Florence, and Scoville Shinn, but Florence Shinn. And you see how the picture is holding wealth, and it's wealth across all aspects of life, pouring it in to the earth, into the people, into the city, into the everything. So that's where we're going. Okay, so on this day, and I want to just thank you so much for riding the waves of momentum to your dreams, goals, visions, purposes, and acts of service. We are all go on these up and down through the mountains and the valleys. And I'm going to keep coming back. I'm working on certain things to try to improve my channel, to bring a better content and messages to you, talking to some wonderful people. And I'm just got to, let the universe help me manifest it all. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Also, for all you mommies, I put a special message up for you, but happy Mother's Day. And there's just so many wonderful things to celebrate. And we got the new moon coming up on Sunday, I believe, May 19th, coming right up. So we'll be, making our new moon wishes. So start prepping for your new moon wishes. So what we're doing as part of the Momentum Challenge is the complete works of Florence Shinn. And so last time we covered her first book called The Game. And because I kind of want to knock it, maybe not knock it, but tune it fork vibrationally into you, we're going to review it again because I want these things to be part of our everyday selves, part of our breath that we take. So here we go. Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle, it's a game. Okay, got that? It's a game. It is a game, however, which cannot be played successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law. Okay, so it's a game on spiritual law, and our wisdom is needed. And the Old Testament and the New Testament give the rules of the game with wonderful clearness. Jesus Christ taught that it was a great game of giving and receiving. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So whatever you're planting in the garden, so we created our Momentum Challenge garden on April 4th, and we are going to be bearing fruit by July 4th. Many of you have already manifested and will be manifesting many more things in this little tiny container of time, but we are doing it with heart and mind aligned and intensity. So just keep going, but whatever we are sowing, we shall reap, and so make it great. This means that whatsoever man sends out in word or deed will return to him what he gives, he will receive. Okay, so, and I know all of you are giving the most wonderful energy, the most wonderful thought forms. You're giving the most wonderful food, the wonderful gifts, the wonderful prayers. Oh my gosh, yes, prayers and, chantings and everything. So if he gives hate, he will receive hate. If he gives love, he will receive love. If he gives criticism, he will receive criticism. And if he lies, he will be lied to. So if you're looking at things coming up, everybody is us pushed out, and some of the things you don't like, allow them to come up and surrender them to God, just little by little. If he cheats, he will be cheated. We are taught also that the imaging faculty plays a leading part in the game of life. So your imaging faculty, right? So in reality transurfing, they call it the script, right? You're going to hold that script. With Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, they talk about our imagining. Reverend Ike, the imagination. Okay, so that imaging faculty. Keep thy heart or imagination with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:3. So protect your heart, right? Keep your heart clean. Keep your, if you're starting to notice it's becoming bitter or envious or jealous or anger, and that's okay too. That's part of the process. But if you start to notice it and you can acknowledge it, just surrender it to God. Just let it go to God. Been doing it, you're going to hear like this undertow of David Hawkins in me, because I've been studying David Hawkins for over a decade, but he has just been coming back in large and in charge with Yogananda and Saint Germain and such. And when you really start to have this loving field that's here for all of us, they keep coming in to uplift us through our processes. So I'm just going to let you know, if you have things manifesting, for instance, like she talked about hate, criticism, lying, cheating, just lift that up and surrender it to God. Like the God is within you, but lift it up, acknowledge it, and surrender it. And it will already begin to transform, and it will not be as hard as you think. So just do it. If you do the work will do you. So this means that what man images, sooner or later externalizes in their affairs. I know a man who feared a certain disease. It was a very rare disease and difficult to get, but he pictured it continually and read about it until it manifested in his body, and he died, the victim of distorted imagination. So we are going to be imagining health for each and every one of us, seeing ourselves vibrant, seeing our minds clear, seeing our lungs clear, and seeing our hearts pounding beautifully to the tune of health, seeing us energized and out there using our beautiful temples to advance God's will. So here we see, to play successfully at the game of life, we must train the imaging faculty. A person with an imaging faculty trained to image only good brings into his life every righteous desire of his heart, right? That's us. So health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression, his highest ideals. So open up your heart, boom, throwing this at you. A person with an imaging faculty trained to image only good brings into his life every righteous desire of his heart. Health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression, his highest ideas. Okay, and so we are like spiritual CrossFit champions. We are not getting discouraged that our image faculty fails. We are going to continue to hone it until it is just imaging the good. So when you talk to, Neville Goddard, because we all do, but when you talk to Neville Goddard, he and, other like Mitch Horowitz, Brian Scott, Josiah Brandt, who discuss Neville Goddard, he could literally imagine all things, how it feel, taste, smell, touch, the good, and he could just, it didn't even take him under 3 minutes, he could really possess his own or their. He talks about times when it was difficult, but he would get in there and he was able to just drop it like it was hot. And that's how we're going to be too. We're going to use our image faculty till we hone it into this perfection of goodness, where we are bringing in the health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression, and our highest ideals. So the imagination has been called the scissors of the mind, and it is ever cutting cutting, day by day, the picture man sees there. And sooner or later, he meets his own creations in his outer world. To train the imagination successfully, man must understand the workings of his mind. The Greeks said, know thyself. So, right, if we know our mind, this is something I've been working with David Hawkins. I've been able to even assess even more deeply my mind. And as I begin to watch it, the wonderful mind that it is wanting to remind me, like he says, it'll remind you to take your vitamins, or that's actually God reminding your wife through to God coming through your wife to you to remind you of your vitamins. But it's like my beautiful mind is over there running around trying to get all the legal work done and the business work done and the housework done and the bills paid and every appointment seen, whatever, articles gathered for, like in Hawaii, our water is being poisoned by the Navy. So we're learning a whole lot about military poisonings in the island of Oahu and throughout the Hawaiian Islands. So there's a big learning curve as you're going through things like that. And, my mind, I'm watching my mind, and now I'm able to like observe it even more when it's doing things that maybe aren't going to help me feel in a state of peace and love and joy. And so, like this is saying, we want to know thyself, right? That my mind and your mind is the scissors of the mind. It's cutting out pictures and images. And many of us are going through tremendous transformation, change, and stress. Like so many things have been turned upside down. We've either lost our jobs, or we've had to move, or we have to learn things we haven't known, or we've lost people, et cetera, et cetera. So know thyself and keep going in there, checking out that mind to see if what it's the scissors of your mind, if it's cutting out beautiful pictures, or are those things that you want to be attached to. The other thing is thank your mind for all it does, because you're not your mind, you're not your body, but it's serving you. It's your temple, in which for you to like do your acts of service for God to the world. So it's a beautiful thing. So know thyself. So these are the 3 departments of the mind: the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. It's like the steam or electricity, and it does what it is directed to do. It has no power of induction. We've got to know what's in there. Whatever man feels deeply or images clearly is impressed upon the subconscious mind and carried out in minute detail. So for example, a woman I know, when a child, always made believe she was a widow. She dressed up in black clothes and wore a long black veil, and people thought she was very clever and amusing. She grew up, married a man whom she was deeply in love, and in a short time he died, and she wore black and a sweeping veil for many years. The picture of herself as a widow was impressed upon the subconscious mind, and in due time worked itself out, regardless of the havoc created. So what is our subconscious mind impressed with? Okay, as we work through our life, many of us are already quite advanced in knowing what's in there, and we're working on reprogramming it, which is, that's why don't ever be discouraged. There's always a way. God always makes a way. So the conscious mind has been called mortal, or the carnal mind. It is the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitations of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious. The superconscious mind is the God mind within each man and is the realm of perfect ideas. So in it is the perfect pattern spoken by Plato, the divine design, for there is a divine design for each person. So please take that into your hearts, there is a divine design for each and every one of you. So there is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill. Something that you are to do, which no one else can do. I really, 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 really want you all to take that to heart, because this is huge. I've watched so many people doing, like, slowly, numbing themselves and doing various things, people leaving the planet and all these things. And thank you for those of you who are, maybe not there and holding the space for everyone. But I'm wanting you to know that if you didn't know, that God has a divine design by you. Like, you are a divine design all by you. Like, if you were muscle test, David Hawkins constantly muscle tests. If you were to muscle test, you will find, no, do I have permission to ask? Yes. Does each and every soul on the planet matter? Yes. So each and every soul, okay, so we got the angels up in here, and they're telling you too, each and every soul, each and every one of you has a purpose and has a divine design on this planet. While many of us may resonate in certain things, we are all needed for the ultimate push towards that new earth. Not one of you is lackluster of importance or value. You have a unique divine design, and there is a place that you are to fill. Only you. There is a place for you to fill that no one else can fill. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chicken skin because I know somebody's listening to this. Something you are to do which no one else can do. So, right now we have this young man, Tongi in Hawaii, who's representing us in, I think it's American Idol. He's in one of those singing contests, and he's advanced to the next highest state. And like, he's such a beautiful young man, and he's got such a beautiful voice. He's so talented. And imagine all the things that went before he was in the singing contest. And, I don't know what his journey is exactly, but thank God he's following his divine design. Anybody and everybody who knows me, even though my channel is baby and I'm coming up, everyone knows that I have a divine design. And this is why I'm here posting these videos, so that they may be of service to you and uplift your life and encourage you through the good and the bad times. So I know so many of you, like Jill, who's like so wonderful with animals and a Master Reiki healer. And she's out there giving her best to her dog and other people's animals, and just the work that she does. And then you've got Dale with his beautiful poetry. He encourages me every day. Dale, I cannot thank you enough. And Lisa too, that has been encouraging me every single day. And Goddess Renee, who's been just super encouraging, and Bree Seeley for mentoring me, and Joe's, Brian Scott, who's been mentoring me and pushing me and encouraging me and feeding me. And I'm just saying, like, I have a divine design, and you have a divine design, and they have a divine design. So try to imagine the world where we are all doing our divine design. That's the world we want to live in. That's the new earth social memory complex, where none of us are hating on each other, envying each other, jealousing each other. We're so busy maturing ourselves and bringing forth that divine design in the way that only you can. And so while many of us may be clustering together with similar gifts, there's still going to be the spice of life, the spice of God, the spice of the living God in you that will bring the message in the way that no one else can bring it. So I'm telling you, bring it, because I want to see you all. I want to see you all succeed. I want to see the best for you. And okay, so on that, we're going to conclude today, but this is the game. I'm reading it again to knock it through the park. Okay. And then after that, we'll move on to the next book. But this would be the time for you to hit like, subscribe, and leave your positive comments. I would like to know what is your divine design. I would like to know what you are impressing on the your image faculty. I want to know what positive thoughts, maybe also to what challenges you're having. And I just want to hear from you. So thank you so much for joining me. And you know what next. And also, please see me collaborating with other people who can help advance my business. Just see it happening with me. That's what I'm asking for. So, all right, ready? Peace in, peace out.